We received an inquiry about putting an opt-in into a sidebar of all your pages. And in Numu, there are several ways that you can accomplish this. Now, if you look at most of the templates, they don't come with a sidebar because you're in generally speaking for marketing purposes where you are trying to get them to buy a product or certain things. You don't necessarily need a sidebar, which could create some distraction from the content you have, but that doesn't mean you can't have a sidebar, obviously. The blogs come with a sidebar feature that you can easily add into the site. So the blog comes with a sidebar feature where you're writing lots of informational content, and it makes sense that you want the sidebar to be there. It's about people consuming information, and you want to probably present an opt-in offer to them that might catch their eye on all this awesome content that you're doing. So in your blog, if we look at this, preview this one, you could see there is a sidebar here. So you can easily insert a form there that you would like. And if you notice that your blog on the particular template you chose doesn't have a sidebar, if you wanted to add one, you can add one. This says it was under settings here. Let me show you again. It was under settings, and then there are different options with sidebar. So we have a sidebar already. Then we can go into edit, sidebar, heading and sidebar, and now just like the other editor, so you can add your heading for your opt-in offer. And then you can add the form just like you would add for any opt-in that you want. Obviously, you probably don't want you just want the name and email, and you can connect it to your email marketing and do all those things. And also keep in mind, for blog posts, there is no limit to the number of blog posts you can have, but your plan may limit you on pages. You'd have to double check what your plan is. So pages on your website may limit you. But if you want to add a page with a sidebar, you could go add new, and then you're going to choose some page templates. The course, you might want to go in the membership of course templates. Many of them tend to have a sidebar. Once you set it up exactly how you want, you put the opt-in on the side here. You can, again, like you put the text in and the form and delete whatever you don't want here. You don't want it to be a course, you just want to have a little sidebar. And then you'd have your template and you would be duplicating it over and over. But there's also a nifty feature of Numu, and you can change any column into a global column, which means that you can insert the same content everywhere and you can edit it in one place and it will edit everywhere. So just like with your footer, and I'll show you that. And if you're not aware, like your footer, you could see here it says footer and arrow below. That means everything below here is in the footer. And if you edit it on one page, it's going to edit it on all the pages. Same with your header. Everything above here, when you edit that, it's going to change that on all the pages where that footer or that header appears. So a similar idea is here under column. And you can see this whole opt-in here is one column. And you would go to the column settings, and then you can say, this is a global column. Here you can go and look, and if you have already saved it there, you can insert the one you want. But if you want to save it as a new global column, you can save it here. So now we would have this where we can insert it anywhere we want. Now, this would look a little strange maybe in the sidebar because this is meant to be wide on the page. So remember though, now it says global column. So everything in this column that you can see there now, if you change it in one place, it's going to change everywhere. So in order to put something into the sidebar, you probably would want to have it narrower, but I'm just trying to give you a quick example. So let's show you how this would work. Okay, so we would go to our sidebar template. And again, it's going to look strange because it's too big, but we can go to this column and we can now choose a global column, and we could choose that my opt-in, and obviously see it is too large. So if I do change the font here though, say I made it smaller so it doesn't look so strange here, then that would actually change it everywhere. So it's just something to keep in mind. But it shows you how to do it. Now you have this option to keep inserting the same thing. You can also copy blocks. So if your whole opt-in form is in a block, like this is a whole block also, so it would again take the whole thing. You can copy, and you saw it flashed here. It is now saved, and you can go to the it's always here. You can get it, but it's just called container because it doesn't have a name. If you want to save it, you can save a name. So it's my opt-in block. And then anytime you want, it's under saved, you can put it in anywhere you want. So then you could also make a smaller one. You can see it's already changed the font size here because I did it on the other page. But then you might want to make one that's maybe wide across the page so it looks good that way, and you can restyle another copy that is just for sidebars or a more narrow spot. But those are a couple ways to accomplish that. I hope that's helpful. And if you have any questions, absolutely let us know.